Caitlyn Adams. I'm the owner of Heart Mind Healing, and I'm so happy to be your partner on your healing journey. Today I have with me one of my favorite humans and favorite tarot readers, Holly Kraig Helton. And yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about tarot. One of the things that I wanted to jump right into is most people think of tarot, they think about going to somebody else to be told what to do. And Holly, that's not most of your practice, is it?
No, most of my practice is reading daily for myself, and I post them up every day and other people connect with them. It's a great way for me to learn more about the cards and how their meanings evolve as I study more, because I love studying the tarot. I love the symbolism. I love the traditional meanings, but sometimes the more I connect with the cards and the more I listen to my intuition, new messages come through, and it helps bring clarity to situations. And sometimes I just get really curious about a situation, so I'll do a reading for that.
Okay.
Like, I'm just real curious. I'm like, you know, will this or will this not happen, or how? What do I need to know about the situation? And so I'll even play around with the question that I ask.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so I'll play around with the question. So like, I will try one of those yes/no questions.
Okay.
Which is kind of a tricky thing to do with the tarot. So I'll do that, but then I'll if I don't get a good focus on the reading, like it doesn't come through clearly, I'll change the question up, not the intent, but I'll change the question wording and try again.
Okay.
And then that helps me get a better handle on the situation.
And then it tells you exactly what to do from there?
Kind of, it gives me an idea. Like, I see doing daily tarot readings more as what I need to know about either this day, this situation. It's more what I need to know right this moment is how I see my daily readings. And to be honest, most of the readings I do are for the immediate future. I'm not so great about reading 5 years out because there's way too much for chance. Even doing like 12 months out, okay, you could do themes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you can do themes.
I mean, think about 12 months ago and how different things have.
Right.
You know, the things we were doing readings about 12 months ago, we're not even thinking about those anymore.
No, we're not. Like, I'll go back and look at the readings I've done for a month, and I feel like, okay, I'm pretty right on with it. Readings I've done for a week, I'm doing pretty good. I feel like those are pretty solid. Readings for the day, I'm more on the money for the day than I am for other things. And there's other readers that I think that maybe can do time better with timelines. That's just not my focus.
So it is a very personal thing. Each reader has their own process.
Yes. They have their own process and they have their own abilities. Like, when I connect to my intuition, which is another reason I love about doing tarot readings, is it helps me connect to that inner voice inside of me. Sometimes, not to sound ridiculous here, but sometimes I have spirits that talk to me. I have a great aunt that I connect with on a regular basis, and she's a no-nonsense woman. And you guys, I'm a no-nonsense reader.
Yes, you are.
I am definitely a no-nonsense reader. So it's nice to be able to connect to those voices, put it down on the paper, and then as time goes by, go back and look at those readings and go, my intuition was right. And knowing that helps me become more confident, not only just in my own readings, but listening to that intuitive voice throughout the rest of my life.
So the cards really are just a tool to work with the intuition that's already there.
Absolutely. I've used pendulums. I've used oracle cards. There was one time for an event, I was an oracle reader.
Oh, cool.
But I used the tarot as my oracle cards.
Oh, neat.
And when people came through, they'd hand me a card, and I was blinded by light, so I had no idea who was standing in front of me. I was cold reading.
Wow.
So doing that, I was able to just give the message. I'd look at the card, I'd give the message to the person, and then they would move on. And the next person would come in. I'd do the same thing over and over and over again. Literally could not see these people. And then after the event was over, after that thing was done, we had a little after party, and I had people coming up to me like, can you clarify blah, blah, blah. I'm like, no. I was giving you information, live feed information as it was coming through me intuitively. I had prepared to do that. I am not prepared to talk to you about what the cards meant to you.
So it's not coming from your logical brain.
No, it's not.
Wow.
I mean, there's the logic of, if I look at a card, like say the 7 of Wands, I know what the traditional meaning of that is. I'm defending myself, I'm feeling defensive. But in those kinds of situations where you let the intuition take over, I may have said something to the effect of, there's a lot of people coming at you and you're going to feel defensive and you're probably going to say the wrong thing. And there's probably more information coming out than it would have if I was just doing a regular 3-card reading for somebody. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
So when you do your daily readings, are you doing that process where you're just pulling one card, or how do you do your personal practice?
So glad you asked. So what I do is what you see right here. I shuffle the cards until I feel they're done. Then I'll do some sort of break like this to kind of further randomize the choices, and then quiet the mind. And to some extent, I also wait to feel the presence of whoever needs to be there. Usually it's my great aunt Hazel. And I'll have that inner dialogue of, are we ready for this? And it's more like, are you? She has attitude. And then I'll repeat the question in my mind. What's the question for the day, or what's the purpose of the reading? And so, for instance, what do I need to know about today? And I'll keep thinking, what do I need to know about today? What do I need to know about today? And then based on that, I can then read. I can kind of pull together a story. And I've noticed lately when I do my daily readings, I'll write them down in my journal. And it's a short space, so I can only jot ideas down. But then when I transcribe them onto the Facebook and Instagram where I put them up, sometimes even more messages come out, that oracle sense of me, that opening up of that intuition, more of it comes out. And so the messages, I feel like, continue to flow even after the cards are down. And then at the end of that, I have a little stand that my wife got me, and I'll put them up on the stand, and they sit there all day.
So they're really keeping your intention.
They are.
Helping you to manifest.
Yeah, and even just like remind myself of if there's going to be a conflict, or if there's something that's telling me that I'm going to be holding on too tightly to relax, I'll look at that card while I'm on the call with my boss or something, or whatever, and it's a good reminder. So it's
I love that.
Yeah. Actually, it's a way of being mindful.
Definitely. Just finding something to focus you, to help you figure out what does today's energy need? What are the messages that I need for today?
Right.
So do all tarot readers have that spirit? Do you have to have somebody else helping you with your reading?
No, that's actually a really good question. I actually ignored my spirits for a long time.
Okay.
And just did straight up tarot readings. I know people who don't even connect. They don't even call it their intuition. They're just reading the meanings of the card, the traditional meanings that were written by Wait. I can't think of his first name. But the traditional meanings that he wrote, going off the imagery that Pamela Coleman Smith created, and that's it. So they're not even being psychic. They're just pulling up with the randomization of the cards pulled up and pulling a meaning from that.
Okay, wow.
So starting from that cold read up to layering in intuition, layering in if you have the insight to layer in the feeling of spirits or what have you. Some people call them ghosts or spirits, or whatever. It's really empowering to figure out what works for you.
Definitely.
It's a lot of trial and error, because those years that I didn't connect with my spirits, they were good readings. But when I did fully authentically connect, I felt like my readings took a different turn, and they were a lot more authentic, for lack of a better word. They were a lot more authentic.
You found your style, your vibe, your voice.
I did. I found my voice. Totally found my voice. It really helped a lot. So to connect to those spirits, if you want to connect to them, I like to use personal items. So I have a locket that I wear for Hazel that actually represents her. It may have been her, I can't remember. But I also have jewelry from loved ones, pictures if you'd like. Occasionally my first spouse comes through. Yeah. So that could be a good thing too. And he was one of the folks that first taught me tarot.
Wow.
And so there's the times that I take it to a different level is when he comes in, he's like, I hadn't thought of it that way.
So it sounds like there is a lot of variety in readings, and it's become part of your routine and a ritual, and being able to take that time and not just quickly do it and then go, all right, let's jump into the world, but reflect on it and write about it and keep it in mind throughout the day.
It's kind of living the tarot, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
It's living with those messages and using them as your own personal guidance in the similar way that people use horoscopes.
True.
Right? They're written generically so that they can apply to anybody in any situation, and that's kind of how I feel like. And some days those speak to you, some days they don't. And I've noticed that sometimes the readings just speak to me, but when I post them on Facebook and Instagram, I found that some people will DM me and they're just like, girl.
So that has happened to me. Several of the readings that Holly posts up, it feels like she's reading for me, which is sometimes they're positive, and sometimes she's kicking my butt a little bit, which is sometimes necessary. We keep mentioning that she does these readings on Facebook and Instagram. So Holly's business is Bluegrass Witch. Do you want to talk about where to find you, all your links and everything?
If you go to Facebook or Instagram, just look for Bluegrass Witch. And if you want to find me online, it's bluegrasswitch.com.
That couldn't be easier.
Right.
Oh, email sign.
Email Holly at bluegrasswitch.com. Yeah.
Wonderful. That's super easy. Well, thank you so much for all of this insight. I know I get a lot of questions from people who are very intimidated by the tarot, thinking that there's all of this doom and gloom, and once something comes up in the cards, you have to do it. But being able to use it as more of a part of a mindfulness practice,
yes.
intention setting,
yes.
It's just another tool we have in this wonderful metaphysical toolbox.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Well, if you have any questions for Holly, be sure to send them or put them in the comments, or you can reach out to her at holly@bluegrasswitch.com, and that's HOLLY, no crazy spellings here. Or if you drop them in the comments, I'll make sure we get to them. I'm sure that Holly and I will be doing another episode soon where we can address more questions and more topics. So thanks so much for tuning in.